Yo, what up, guys? It's Mike here from Aravox Studios, and today I'm going to show you how to edit vocals like a pro. Let's get into it. Doing the intros and outros, by the way. So, when it comes to editing vocals, you have probably already recorded vocals. That's important, right? If not, maybe you got sent a whole bunch of vocal tracks from an artist and you're going to mix them, something like that. But let's just say that you did record these vocals and you're a smart recording engineer. So what you did is you recorded them on a record track, like this one right here. And you made sure to go up to the record button and hit the little spreader hotkey. All right, Control, Command, click the record enable button until it has this loop around the circle. That will put you in loop record mode. If you're not in that, then any other type of record mode that you're in, it sucks. So loop record is cool because you can make a selection over the part of the song that you want to record. Push record. And those 4 recordings are now just automatically all saved to the playlist. And yes, you can see here that I have a lot of vocal recordings from this artist that I recorded, right? Reason being is that I like to loop sections and get stacks. I like to loop sections and get multiples of the same part, and so that way I can get the best of each line and use that. Also, sometimes the artists are writing their stuff on the spot. So, they're going to take some time to sit there and listen to the track over and over again, try out different things until they get what they like, right? First part of editing vocals is having vocals to edit. So if you don't have a whole bunch of different takes or different playlist lanes or different whatever your DAW calls them, you're just not doing your job as an engineer. So what I did, I've already gone through these and you can see like I've cut out pieces. I've listened to like these 4 lines, for example, right? And I cut out the 2 best takes I liked out of them. Okay. Like I took this little line right here. All these little pieces right here, I took to make the lead vocal or to make the background vocals. Okay. I don't really care if an artist comes in here and nails the whole track all the way through. In fact, I'd rather that they didn't do that and they put all their time and energy into getting each and every line exactly how they want it. So as far as the comping goes, any track here that is a different color, it came from a different take, right? So this is one take, this is another take. This probably came from this one over here, and we just dragged this orange one on top of it. The purple guys were one track, the green is another track. Then the 2 orange guys were one track, and the blue was another track, okay? So you can just see from the colors what got comped into there and what didn't get comped, right? So let's go ahead and give the track a listen and see what we think. Keep in mind, right now, I haven't done any mixing on this track. What you're going to hear right now is just basically a crispy tuner on everything. And that's about it. Shout out to Brainworks. So let's go ahead and give the hook a listen and check it out.
I be dripping Sailor on, man, I know that I'm on. Baby calling my phone, says she love all my songs. Smoke a blunt to the face, now I know that
What I'm noticing here is just the lead vocal is pretty much the only thing I'm noticing. And I have these other background tracks that if I turn them up, let's find out if they're working with the lead vocal or if they're clashing with the lead vocal.
I be dripping Sailor on, man, I know that I'm on. Baby calling my phone, says she love all my songs. Smoke a blunt to the face, now I know that I'm gone. I be riding too fast, whoa.
Okay, they sound pretty good, right? They sound pretty good, but there was a couple of things that annoyed me a little bit. And when I say annoy, I don't mean like I didn't like the performance. I mean, there's just things that stood out to me as something that needed some correction. All right. So basically like these S's right here. Those. How the S's land later than the S of the lead vocal. All right. This is one edit that is really crucial to do, is getting S's on time. So look at what I'm doing, fellas. All right, we're literally just going to cut the S's and put them where the other S is on the lead vocal up there, right? But don't think that you can just do that without doing a bit of this. All right, because you got to do a bit of this.
She love on my song, smoke a blunt to the face, now I know.
Okay, now they're landing on the same time. Now, if I don't listen to this soloed, then we'll never know if they're perfect. But if I don't listen to them soloed, you can tell that it doesn't even matter whether the cuts are perfect or not, right? But let's take a listen.
You love on my songs. You love on.
Okay, so on the longest part of this word is right? So we need to move this over to where the is. When he's making that sound with his mouth, we want this cut to be happening in the middle of it.
You love on my songs.
Okay, not bad. We're going to move it over a little bit more. And we're going to make sure that the waveforms, they're all lining up like they need to be. Okay, like they're lining up with where it's supposed to be in sequence here. So see how that one's going down on this left purple one? Right there is where it starts. This one, that down starts right there. Okay, so now we got it like that. So this track should sound pretty good. Let's do the same thing for the bottom one. We delete this guy. Oh boy, I knew I should have went to slip mode. Okay, if we go ahead and look at this down, we could see it probably needs to go right there. You see how those waveforms line up like that? Let's give these a listen now.
You love on my songs. You love on.
Okay, you can't even tell that I cut it. So there's vocal edit number 1.
She love on my songs, smoke a blunt. She love on my songs, smoke.
All right, that's the alignment phase of editing vocals. Let's see if we listen to this one, if we get any more things we want to align here.
And I know that I'm on, baby calling my phones.
One thing I'm noticing is that one of the background vocals lasts a little bit longer than the other one. So we're going to cut this tail just like that. And we're basically going to bring it down until, look at that. Look at how the waveforms line up right there. All right. Now I know where I want it, so I'm going to bring it up here and line up the waveforms up top. Give it a little one of these guys. So now I know that they're all like doing their thing, you know?
Man, I know that I'm on. Baby calling my phone, says she love on my songs. Smoke a blunt to the face, now I know that I'm gone. I be riding too fast.
If I mute these two lines down here, right, then we can hear, and visually we could see that this bottom one is much longer than the top one, right? And we want to get this turquoise one to be more like that green one. All right, so let's take a listen.
Now I know that I'm gone. I be riding too fast.
Let me mute the lead vocal and just really show you. See how one ear is still going. One side just kind of, it's not clean. Okay, make it clean. You got to make it clean, guys. So we're going to just cut that bottom one. We're going to bring it up here to where it aligns. Oh, there it was. See that? Look at that. Okay. If I just drop it there, now we know it's perfectly aligned. I use control to drag it down without it moving left and right. So look, won't go left and right, won't go left and right. Boom, open this back up. And now we know we got this doing what it needs to do. Okay, if we want to make it look real clean, we can do some of that. Then we're going to tape this back together and pretend like that never ever happened. Look at that. Look at that. Now we play that with the lead vocal.
Know that I'm on. Baby calling my phone, says she love on my song. Smoke a blunt to the face, now I know that I'm gone. I be riding too fast, whoa.
Okay, okay. That is sounding clean. That is pro. All right, now if you really, really want to take it to the next level, you can just like, oh. So we got the last line to take care of here. There's a little bit of something right here. It's not crazy, but I feel like for the sake of just being extra. Sometimes it's fun to be extra. I'm going to go ahead and just do that one, you know? It's good for the brain sometimes to really, really just geek out on stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, then when you listen to it, you just know, like, I did it. I went all the way. We've got them all aligned as far as the ends go. Let's go and take a double look at everything and look at like kind of the starting times of each of them. It looks like this one here is doing something different. And when you can't see some, like when you want to see the waveform better, it's good to get the name out of the way and get the gain out of the way. It's not exactly the same as the lead, but it's pretty close, you know? Then I want to kind of bury this guy in the middle of the long note there. There we go. Okay, this is pretty close. I wouldn't even mess with that one. This one's really close. I wouldn't mess with that one. This over here, I mean, it's just a little bit off right here. We'll do a bit of that, you know? We can also nudge this guy. The st and fast. It's just a little bit longer on the bottom track. So we nudge that guy over right there. We can pull this out a tad. Give it a little baby fade out and a little baby fade in, you know? Okay, so now that we have the alignment done, right? There's one little step I skipped over. Do you notice how there are no breaths in any of my backgrounds, right? See how I like really sloped in that fade in, making sure there's no breaths in there. Reason why I like to do this is because the only breath I want to hear is the breath in the lead vocal, and I don't want to hear a lot of those either. So sometimes I will cut the breaths out, put them on their own track, normalize them, and then figure out the level of how loud I want the breaths to be in the track. You know what I'm saying? Also, putting the breaths on their own track is a really good way to kind of like compress them and EQ them to where they really have a silky, nice addition to the performance instead of just like being a breath in between a line. It can be pretty dramatic, you know, so you want to sometimes have that in a track and sometimes it doesn't really matter. But in the background vocals, I never want them, all right? What I would do is go listen to the breaths in the lead vocal.
I be dripping Sailor on, man, I know that I'm on. Baby calling my phone, says she love all my songs. Smoke a blunt to the face, now I know that I'm gone. I be riding too fast, whoa.
And to be honest with you, this breath right here is the perfect volume for me, okay? What we're gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate this lead track right here. But I'm gonna turn off the active playlist, alternate playlists, group assignments, make another one. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this breath down and we're going to call this chorus lead breaths. Oh no. Not the little letters. Okay. And we're going to go cut out all the breaths. Once you get to doing this, you can really just see the breaths. So easy. Okay. So I really don't even actually need to listen to them because I can see where all like the 4 or 5 breaths are in this performance. All right. Once we have them cut out like that, now it's pretty obvious. You can see how much bigger this breath is than the other 3, right? So I'm going to go up here to Audio Suite. I'm going to bust out the gain. Reason why I'm going to do this is because it gives me some information if I hit this Analyze button right here. It tells me the result of this waveform in decibels is negative 35.4, right? So let's go ahead and analyze this one. And that tells me that this needs 10 dB of some gain. So what I can do is use my handy dandy hotkey, and I will shift, control, scroll wheel, and I'll also use my hotkey to turn gain back on. Okay, and I'm going to give this 10 dB. Doesn't need to be an exact thing. I know 10 dB is going to get me close. Now, that is the geekiest way to do it. You can also just use your eyes and be like, oh, this just needs to be the size of that, you know? Or, you know, if you love being geeky, you can just do the analyze thing. But a lot of times, I like to just use my eyes. Gets me through it pretty quickly, you know? So you can see now I've got control of the breath separate from the lead vocal, right? So what I want to do is just turn these down a little bit now.
I be dripping Sailor on, man, I know that I'm on. Baby calling my phone, says she love all my songs. Smoke a blunt to the face, now I know that I'm gone. I be dripping.
Okay, and now it feels like really, really natural, but the breaths are not too loud. They're really easy to be heard, and like I was saying, I'm not going to get into mixing today, any kind of EQ or compression, but we're just going to be cutting audio, moving it around, doing what is known as editing, okay? So that is what's going on there. And this is just the first half of the hook. So I would do the same thing in the second half. But if you could see how the waveforms are the same color for these background vocals right here, I don't have to do this again. I'll just go right into the homie grid mode right here. Go over here like this. Drop it on this downbeat. Command D for duplicate. Okay. This yellow one is a different performance, so we are going to have to go back to slip mode. We are going to cut out these breaths and bring them down to the breaths track. And it looks like I am going to have to listen to find a couple of them here. I think there's one in here, right here, somewhere.
Baby calling my phone, says she love all my songs. Smoke a blunt to the face, now I know that I'm gone.
Homie with all his blunt smoking can hold his breath pretty long.
I be dripping Sailor on, man, I know that I'm on. Baby calling my phone, says she love all my songs. Smoke a blunt to the face, now I know that I'm gone. I be riding too fast, whoa. Told you I.
Okay, so now we got all the breaths cut out. These ones need to actually kind of come down a little bit to get to that 35 is what we were aiming for, right? Somewhere around there. 34.5 ain't gonna hurt nobody on a half decibel.
I be dripping Sailor on, man, I know that I'm on. Baby calling my phone, says she love all my songs. Smoke a blunt to the face, now I know that I'm gone. I be riding too fast, whoa. I be dripping Sailor on, man, I know that I'm on. Baby calling my phone, says she love all my songs. Smoke a blunt to the face, now I know that I'm gone. I be riding too fast, whoa. Told you I was gonna be there, I was ready.
Yeah, so that sounds clean. Now that I know that they're all edited and nice and tight, it's the perfect time to take this hook and copy and paste it to the other two over there. You know what I'm saying? So let me show you that one more time. What we would do is go into the homie grid mode right here. We go to these tracks and we take this all the way to the line before the downbeat, which is right there. If I left arrow, I can go double check my work. And you can see that the downbeat is where this yellow line is. And I'm one line before that. So boom. Drop it over here. And now we're good to go. Go look over here. Boom. Command D. Duplicates it one more time for me. And now we have our 3 hooks all edited just that quick. So you would just repeat this process until you have all of the vocals aligned. Once they're all aligned, they're all edited nicely, your breaths are all cleaned up and handled, then it's time to melodyne. After the melodyne, it is time to mix. So if you want to see how that gets done, make sure you tap into some of my other videos. I got plenty of videos of me melodyning and mixing some vocals. Yeah, so that is a wrap on editing vocals, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll tell you that when you have stacks of tracks, this can be a lot of work, but it's very rewarding when you hear all of the tracks working together with the same timing and just everything. You know what I mean? Yes, and do not forget to check down below in the description for the free gift that I am giving you guys. I am hooking you up with my recording / mixing / mastering template. It has all of my vocal chains, all of my mastering chain, and all of the routing that I'm using to produce great work for all of my artists, like what you're hearing here today. The session looks just like the one that you are looking at right now. Save yourself a ton of time recording and mixing songs for clients by downloading that template and cranking out another banger for your artists that are coming through your studio. And like I said before, I am so grateful for you guys stopping by and checking out the videos. I hope it helps you a ton. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Peace.